My name is Richard, and I need to share something I should have understood 4 decades ago. I constructed a company valued at $300 million. I had the executive suite, the corporate jet, the oceanfront estate. People labeled me a success story. Financial publications featured me. Aspiring business owners wanted to know my formula. But here's what nobody knew. While I was constructing that empire, I was demolishing the only things that genuinely mattered. And by the time I understood it, it was too late to repair most of it. I'm 76 years old now. My company's gone, sold it years back. The money's still here, but honestly, I'd surrender every dollar of it to return and do things differently. And regardless of your age, if you're grinding away, convincing yourself just a few more years, I need you to hear this story because I was you. And I was wrong about everything. Let me take you back to 1979. I was 30 years old, recently married to Jennifer, and I'd just launched my own business. Everyone thought I was insane, but I was determined to prove them wrong. The first 5 years were punishing, 80, 90-hour weeks. I missed dinners, birthdays, anniversaries. But Jennifer understood, or at least that's what I convinced myself. She'd say, "It's fine, we're building our future." And I believed her. I genuinely believed that once we succeeded, everything would improve. We'd have time then. That's the lie I told myself for 20 years. In 1984, our daughter Olivia was born. I was in a strategy meeting when Jennifer went into labor. I arrived eventually, but I missed the birth. I told myself I'd be present for all the significant moments. Except I wasn't. I missed her first steps, her first day of kindergarten, her dance recitals, her high school graduation. I have this memory that haunts me. Olivia was around 7. She entered my office with a drawing she'd created of our family. She was so enthusiastic, but I was on a conference call. I held up one finger. Just a minute. She stood there for maybe 30 seconds, then departed. Years later, I discovered that drawing. She'd written at the bottom, "I love you, Daddy, even though you're always busy." She was 7 years old. By the time I found it, it was too late to repair it. By 1996, we'd succeeded. The company was valued at $60 million. We relocated into a mansion. We took a vacation to the Bahamas, our first genuine vacation in 12 years. I thought, see, it was all worthwhile, but something had shifted. Jennifer had constructed a life without me. She had her friends, her community involvement. Olivia was 14 and barely acknowledged me. I'd become a stranger in my own home. I told myself it was just a phase. Once Olivia left for college, we'd reconnect. That magical moment I kept anticipating. In 2002, Olivia went to college. Yale. I was so proud. But when we dropped her off, she embraced Jennifer for 5 minutes. She embraced me for 5 seconds. Mechanical, obligatory. That same year, Jennifer requested a divorce. 23 years of marriage, and she was finished waiting. She'd been alone in our marriage for 2 decades. I'd been married to my company, not to her. I couldn't even argue. She was right. After the divorce, I threw myself into work even harder. The company expanded to $300 million. I was featured on the cover of Fortune. People asked me how I accomplished it. I never told them the truth, that I accomplished it by sacrificing everything that mattered. In 2010, I had a heart attack. I was 61 years old. I was in my office working late, as always, when my chest began hurting. I drove myself to the hospital. There was nobody to call. Jennifer had remarried. Olivia lived in Seattle. My assistant discovered the next day when I didn't appear for a meeting. Lying in that hospital bed connected to machines, I had this moment of absolute clarity. What was it all for? I'd constructed this massive company, but who was I constructing it for? Not for Jennifer. She was gone. not for Olivia. She'd learned to exist without me. For myself, for my ego, for some imaginary finish line that kept retreating further away. I sold the company in 2013, received a massive payout, and then I had to determine what that life was supposed to look like. 64 years old with more money than I could spend and nobody to spend it with. I attempted to reconnect with Olivia, called her every week, flew to Seattle. But here's the reality about time. You can't recover it. You can't return and attend those dance recitals. Once that time is gone, it's gone forever. Olivia's civil to me now. We have lunch occasionally. We talk on the phone, but we don't have what other fathers and daughters have. We don't have inside jokes or shared memories. We're cordial, pleasant, but we're not close. And that's on me. She got married 4 years ago. She asked me to walk her down the aisle, and I did. But when she gave her speech at the reception, she talked about her mother, about how Jennifer had been there for everything, how Jennifer had taught her to be resilient, how Jennifer had shown her what it meant to be a good person. She thanked me for coming. That was it. She thanked me for appearing at her wedding like I was a guest, not her father. That night, back in my hotel room, I cried for the first time in decades because I'd missed it all. The moments that genuinely mattered. I'd been so preoccupied constructing something I thought was important that I'd missed watching my daughter grow up. I'd missed being part of her life. And now I'm this elderly man she tolerates because I'm her father, not because she actually wants me in her life. Here's what took me 60 years to learn. Success means nothing if you're alone. Money means nothing if you have nobody to share it with. Achievements mean nothing if the people you love don't care. I see young men today making the same mistakes I made. I see them working 70, 80-hour weeks. I see them missing dinners with their children because they have to complete one more report. I see them prioritizing their careers over their marriages. And they all say the same thing I said, just a few more years. Once I make partner, once I reach this milestone, once I achieve this goal, then I'll focus on family. But it never happens because there's always another goal, always another promotion, always another deal. The finish line keeps retreating. And meanwhile, your children grow up, your marriage disintegrates, and you wake up one day as an old man with a bank account full of money and a heart full of regrets. If I could return and talk to my 30-year-old self, here's what I'd say. Your company will survive if you leave at 5 o'clock. That meeting can wait until Monday. That email can be answered tomorrow. But your daughter's childhood won't wait. Her dance recital is today. Her school play is tonight. And once those moments pass, they're gone forever. Work will always be there. There will always be another deal, another project, another crisis that feels urgent. But your children won't always be children. Your wife won't always wait. Your parents won't always be here. The people you love, they're on a timer, and you don't know when that timer expires. I've got more money than I'll ever need. I've got investments in properties and a retirement fund that could support 10 people for a lifetime. But I'd trade every single penny for one more day with Olivia when she was 7, for one more evening with Jennifer before I pushed her away, for the chance to appear and be present instead of always being somewhere else. You know what's ironic? Nobody at my company remembers me. I sold it, and they brought in new management, and within 2 years it was like I'd never existed. The deals I worked so hard on, nobody cares anymore. The achievements I thought were so important, they're footnotes in old business journals that nobody reads. But Olivia remembers. She remembers every time I wasn't there. every missed birthday, every broken promise, every time I chose work over her. Those memories, they're permanent. They shaped who she is. They defined our relationship, and I can't undo any of it. I'm 76 years old now. I live alone in a condo by the ocean. I've got more time than I know what to do with. I read, I travel, I volunteer, but mostly I think about what could have been. I think about the life I could have had if I just understood that success isn't measured in dollars or deals or square footage. Success is measured in relationships, in presence, in love. So if you're watching this and you're working late again tonight, I need you to stop. I need you to close your laptop. I need you to go home, be with your family, have dinner with your children, watch that show with your spouse, be present, be there. Because I promise you, 20 years from now, you won't remember what that report said. But you'll remember whether you were there for the moments that mattered. And if you're thinking, but I'm different, my situation is different, I'm building something important. I thought that too. Every man who makes this mistake thinks he's different, but we're not. We're all the same. We all think we have more time than we do. We all think family will wait. We all think we can compensate later. You can't. I learned this lesson 40 years too late. Learn it now. Go home. Be present. Choose your family. Because at the end of your life, nobody's going to care about your career accomplishments. But the people you love, they're going to care whether you were there. And if you're not careful, you'll end up like me. Rich, successful, accomplished, and completely alone. If this story makes you uncomfortable, good. It should. If it makes you want to change something, even better. Don't wait. Don't tell yourself you'll do it tomorrow or next year. Do it today. Do it now. Because time doesn't care about your plans. Time just keeps moving. And one day you'll run out of it. Leave a comment and tell me what you're going to do differently. Hit that subscribe button if you want to hear more from someone who learned everything the hard way. Share this with anyone who needs to hear it, and then close your device and go be with the people who matter. Because trust me, they matter more than anything else ever will.